Click on my video, like and subscribe. Top recent fragrances, I'll pick my best 5. Give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends, because on this channel the smelly fun never ends. These 5 fragrances will get you some attention. They could be in with the ladies till you're collecting your pension. Projecting like a missile, you'll be the talk of the town, making every other player look like a clown. You are bound to be happy if you check out these scents. If you buy them at Notino, it won't involve much expense. Every fragrance here is an eau de parfum, so look out ladies, because here we come. Longevity, sillage and of course projection. Spray these on and prepare to get affection. They call me Mr. Smelly, it's an appropriate description, so now please click on the button that confirms your subscription. Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So today we're going to be having a look at what I think are my top 5 designer men's fragrance releases from the past 5 years. This video is brought to you with the cooperation of my friends over at Notino UK, who sent me one of the fragrances that I needed to add to my collection to do the video for free, and they sent me one that I'm going to use as an honourable mention too. In return for that, I'm pointing you in their direction, and there's going to be links if you're in the UK to buy all these fragrances at Notino UK. Also, a free giveaway for the first time, and they're very kindly going to send one lucky winner, you have to be in the UK, a bottle of Bentley For Men Intense. If you want to be eligible for that, just comment in the comments below, count me in. That can be part of another comment, or if you just say that, that's fine. And I'll choose a winner at random in roughly a week from now. And you also have to be following them on Instagram or Facebook to be eligible to win, so make sure that's the case. So lucky you, a chance for one person in the UK to win my first one that I'm going to mention, Bentley For Men Intense. Also, one other small thing, Notino UK also has a Black Friday offer going on at the moment. A link to look at some of the exciting stuff they've got on special offer for Black Friday in the UK is down there in the description below. Lots of fragrance stuff and also a load of other products too. So let's get into my top 5 designer fragrances from the last 5 years. So I'm going to include 2013 onwards. It might be literally just slightly over 5 years. So the first one for me, I think, is Bentley For Men Intense. This is an eau de parfum fragrance. It was released in 2016. Sorry, 2013 I meant. The perfumer for this one was Natalie Lawson. I believe she also did the very famous Encre Noire from Lalique, so a very prestigious perfumer. Some of the notes in this one: rum, clary sage, there's incense, leather, patchouli, black pepper, and it's a very heavy, rich, boozy, masculine, for me, leathery and patchouli heavy fragrance. Looks back a little bit to the 70s style fragrances, maybe things like Givenchy Gentleman, stuff like that. There's a little reminiscence of those in this one, but it's got a sort of a modern niche fragrance twist. Some people compare it to Chambre Noire from Olfactive Studios, and also to Idole de Lubin, I believe, and it's very similar to both those fragrances, but it's got its own thing going on. Really, really heavy, thick, rich, boozy, masculine, very nice performance, kind of sophisticated, a mature smelling scent, and wonderful bottle there. And really one of the great adventurous releases from a designer fragrance company. Of course, Bentley make rather luxurious cars, so I guess we can count them as a designer fragrance. I am anyway. Only I think around £26 last time I checked on Notino for 100ml, and that is just stunning value for money. So Bentley For Men Intense, one from the last 5 years that I still rate as an absolute 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10 type of fragrance. Moving on then, the next one, there are quite a few coming up, or at least 2 that I've never mentioned on my channel before, but some of these first ones I'm mentioning may be familiar to viewers of my channel. So it's going to be Dunhill Icon. This was released in 2015. The perfumer for this one, Carlos Benaim, the well-established perfumer who, I think one of his first famous ones was Polo Green back in the 1970s. Fantastic bottle design on this fragrance. It's really heavy. It's got this kind of steel design there, and the Dunhill logo, all that stuff just looks really, really good. So the bottle alone gives it a head start. But the main thing is the smell, which is terrific on Dunhill's Icon. Some of the notes you're going to get in this one, very fresh in the opening: neroli, bergamot, petitgrain. Then we've got lavender, we've got juniper, cardamom, leather, vetiver, and oud. Very, very fresh opening, and then a woody, pleasant, masculine undertone, but so many fragrances could be described that way. What's special about this one? It's just beautifully, beautifully done. If you want to really simplify it, you could say it feels like a bit of a mix between Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford, maybe with Terre d'Hermès, and perhaps Molecule 01, because there's a ton of ISO-E Super, which is a synthetic note which makes things last longer and has a kind of pleasant, sweet, fresh fresh woody smell, but it's mixed in so skillfully with the lavender, almost an undertone of the barbershop, but a modern kind of feel about this one as well. Very fresh, very manly, woody, clean, sophisticated, and a beautiful, beautiful scent. So Dunhill Icon, for me, one of my favourites from the last 5 years. I'm excluding really obvious out-and-out flankers that came out in that time. So for example, I've decided not to include Dior Homme Parfum, which is very much a continuation of the Dior Homme line. Even though it's a great fragrance, it's pretty much a flanker and just a slight tweak on a formula. Same with Fahrenheit Parfum, which was within the last 5 years, but same bottle design and a little bit similar to the original Fahrenheit. But this next one, you could say, well, that's the same thing again, because it is a flanker. It's Valentino Uomo Intense from 2016. I've decided to include it. I know it's a bit similar to Dior Homme Intense and maybe Parfum, and there was an original Valentino Uomo, but I think this has enough of its own character to be considered a separate entity in its own right. So it definitely has the iris note, which we all associate with the original Dior Homme, composed by Olivier Polge, who did the original Valentino Uomo. I'm not sure who's the perfumer for this one. It might be him. Other notes: mandarin, black leather, and vanilla. So it's this irisy, waxy, lipstick-esque note that people associate with Dior Homme, but there's a little bit more sweetness in this one, a kind of dark leathery undertone, and to me a sort of dark chocolate orange kind of mixture, dark chocolate with a twist of orange. Perhaps in the opening, that's how it comes across. Very rich. If you like that kind of waxy Dior Homme thing, this is a different kind of take on that. Very powerful, nice performance, a dark, brooding, yet sweet and modern kind of scent, and I really, really love this one. I think it's something of a masterpiece, or a mini masterpiece. So for me, Valentino Uomo Intense 2016 release makes it on my list. I'm doing these in chronological order, so they're all kind of equally good. All three of those have been mentioned on my channel. Now for something different. Got these two in then just recently. And the first one I'm going to mention, this was the one I picked up courtesy of my free voucher from the lovely people at Notino, and I was really excited to do so because it's L'Envol de Cartier. The bottle design is, again, an absolute beauty. I'm a bit of a sucker for a good bottle. Just makes me feel like, oh god, I'm going to break it. It's kind of the fragrance inside another glass container, but that's pretty spectacular. More importantly, how does this one smell? So the official notes on one website simply listed as musk, guaiac wood and honey. Elsewhere we've got things like violet leaf and lavender in there, which I do pick up on both of those, I think, a little bit. It was Mathilde Laurent, the perfumer for this one, and a really, really beautiful, soft, sensuous, essentially the main thing, it smells like a really nice kind of honey, a sort of floral, spicy honey smell with a bit of musk. There is a hint of lavender in there, I think, and a violet leaf note that reminds me and Claire from the Smurfy Girly channel just slightly of Dior's Fahrenheit, but it's not a fragrance that's very similar to that. But a beautiful, soft, sensuous, sweet, and very different to anything else out there scent. Perfect kind of comforting, cold weather scent that has an almost warming, not overpowering, reasonable performance, but not amazing, but a decent, well, more than a decent smell, a really, really beautiful smell with decent performance, and something quite different to anything else that's out there. So this absolutely unique and wonderful bottle design and fantastic scent. L'Envol de Cartier, that's the eau de parfum. There is an eau de toilette as well. I prefer the eau de parfum. I haven't mentioned performance on the other scents, by the way. All the others that I've featured have good performance. They're all eau de parfum concentration. They're all good, and that's kind of one of the things they had to be to get in this list. So you shouldn't be too let down. Not all beast mode, but good performance on all of these. So finally, the most recent one that I'm going to include in the list, and this is going to be Gucci Guilty Absolute from Alberto Mories, the man who brought us Acqua di Gio, but this is completely different. This came out in 2017. The notes include leather, patchouli, golden wood, I don't know what that is, and vetiver. Definitely a very woody, masculine scent. It's a bit like Terre d'Hermes again, minus the orangey citrus element and with more of the earthy woodiness that many of us love so well in that fragrance. I really love Gucci Guilty Absolute. It took me a while to get there. It's a bit challenging. Not everyone's going to like it. It's a little bit of a mature smell, maybe, very masculine. But for a designer fragrance to release this in this day and age, quite daring. They're not copying anyone else, although there are some similarities to other scents. There's nothing quite like this. Some people say it comes off smelling like a band-aid. That's the negative. There is with the patchouli maybe and these heavy woody notes, not everyone's going to take to that. It can smell a little bit funny to some people, but to me, getting up there towards a kind of niche quality scent, this one, Gucci Guilty Absolute, and a real return to form from the house of Gucci, who haven't released anything that interesting for a number of years. So that one rounds off my list, but there's one honourable mention because I picked up with my Notino voucher as well, Dunhill Icon Absolute. I think it also came out in 2015, so they didn't hang around with this one. So it's the gold bottle version of the silver original. They're both eau de parfum, completely different scent profile, dark, woody, a little bit of oud in this one. There's saffron in there. They're much more of a nighttime, winter kind of fragrance. The original Icon, more of a summer or spring freshy, maybe daytime fragrance. You can wear it at the night as well. But this one, Absolute, a really interesting flanker. Doesn't quite make my official top 5, but an honourable mention. A really nice, deep, dark, niche smelling, kind of oudy, woody, mysterious, exotic, very mature, grown-up fragrance from the house of Dunhill. All of these available on Notino UK. Check out the links down there. Remember to comment, count me in, if you're in the UK and you'd like to have the chance to win Bentley For Men Intense. I'll pick a winner at random and announce it on the show soon, and they'll send you a bottle. Okay, thanks ever so much for joining me. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the video. Which fragrances did I leave out? That kind of thing. What do you think of the ones that I did pick? As ever, remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. See you next time. Bye-bye.